Freaking Goku and Vegeta moment, jeez.
That I should lose again. How disappointing.
I'm not exhausted, that's a lie.
Never have I understood those around me. Understood their obsessions. Besieged by their banality, the world is a mire of tedium and trivialities. But in these fleeting moments, there is a spark. Blinding, brilliant. Gone. Too soon. What of you, my mirror? Born into this world, bestowed name, bid to seek out strife and adventure. Was this life a gift or a burden? Did you find fulfillment? I...
We both did?
Your life flashed before your eyes, so I guess so.
God. There's the button, press it. It pressed itself. Are you kidding? And there Xenos gets left. On the edge of creation.
To grow into the next despair.
You never know.
Can you hear him? Safe. Must tend to... Open your... Please.
Someone, and
Please.
you can't leave us. Not like this. If you do, I'll never forgive you. So come on. Open your eyes and get up.
Don't worry, it's only a concussion.
I mean, technically, you did.
Sweet. Gotta make sure to always continue pressing buttons so I
Are
don't get
you-
kicked out of the game.
Are you with us? Oh, thank the heavens. For a moment we thought...
Is everyone alright? Yeah.
After what you've done, you're the last person to be asking that. You... How can you keep your promise if you're not here?
Another fine show you've put on, my friend.
A fine show indeed. What were you thinking? Fighting alone?
For a tank, you should wear
Never
skimpy
do that
armor.
again. My poor heart couldn't bear it.
It's flashy though.
Put
it's got
yourself in our
magic.
place. If you hadn't returned, how do you think we would feel? And if that sounds harsh, it's because we care.
You did it first.
We tended to thy wounds as best we could. But how is the pain? That is gladdening. Grievous as thine injuries were, however, I would counsel repose for a time.
Gladdening! There's nothing gladdening about this. When Meteon appeared in here and told us that you were right behind her, we all got our hopes up. But you never came. And when you finally deign to appear, you're within an ilm of your life. Damn you! Damn you for making us worry!
Oh, those were cries of celebration! Anyway, well, the important thing is that you're all alive and in reasonably good health, and we mean to get you back that way. As for your earlier request, I'm quite certain we're in range to make contact now.
Ah, excellent. Let us announce our return at once. I hope you're ready.
While you were unconscious, we set out from Ultima Thule, you see. Can you stand? If so, you may wish to see what's outside. We're home, my friend. We're home.
Bastard Q only gives me the error if I'm not actually at my goddamn computer.
I know. Got errored twice and I luckily enough caught it the second time.
Alpha.
Is that?
Did you do the fights, Gerald? I meant Gerald, sorry.
Wow.
Langdon.
Dragonfire, yes.
It is. It's the
Was it
Ragnarok.
the end singer? Fucking
We're
awesome.
back.
It was definitely a good fight. I was so impressed fucking when Xenos came flying in as Shinru. I was like, that was so fucking unexpected. Like, to
You were
no end.
expecting him to kill everything, but no.
Well, I was expecting like a post cinema thing or whatever, where he was going to be my problem in the post story.
Of course, I was cheering because I'm like, yes, finally, stupid Estinian's done here. I get to ride the dragon.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's not bothered with any of the low-level shit. But I was like, no, I think I'll just leave that.
And then, freaking, of course, even after the fight, he's like, yeah, I still want to beat you up. But I kind of gave him that, like, you know what,
Well,
I can't blame you.
that was where I was like, really? We're gonna beat each other to the point where we're having to punch?
I know.
Really?
Like the full on, just like, they just went right to the limits.
You know what would be the meanest thing ever? Is if you failed in beating him, it re-queued you for the instance and you had to do it all over again.
Oh, that would be, oh man, so brutal.
Because, like, I don't think we wiped on my attempt.
No, we didn't
But
either.
the fucking, I love the planets, how they did them. So cool. Where it's like crashing, then the explosion, then she rewinds it and does it again.
And then she also did that with her ultimate.
Yeah.
And of course, our paladin, our other tank, he did the level 3 LB on the first one.
Oh, not on the giant purple? Well,
Well,
yeah, you don't
that's
need
the
to
second
on the
one.
second. No, second one doesn't matter. The first one you have to.
Oh, right, because
or
the
else you
second
die.
one we get saved, I think.
The second one, yeah, is consequential.
Yeah, we did that on the first try, but I struggled for the first half of that boss, man.
I just loved that entire kind of sequence with the zone being all the different kind of civilizations they found, and then the dungeon is them too, and so fucking good.
I definitely liked what they did with it. It was definitely well done.
Well, and Emmett Selk and
Oh yeah, him and
whatever. Yeah,
yeah.
I can't say any of their names, but them showing up, I was like,
Hypholodius.
yes.
Hypholodius. I always kept on calling Hypholodius. Yeah.
The only thing that
I'm having a
confuses
weird time
me
right now. What?
is with Elidibus
Yeah.
saying that he saw us in Elpis. Where the fuck was he?
He was a child.
Good
Is he
question.
just some random person there?
Well, no, we gotta remember. So he's one of the people in there, right?
No.
But he's not Elidibus yet because Elidibus is the station. So it's his memories would have been passed from the.
Elpis is the station.
No, his station, as in his position in the 12. Elidibus is
14.
the title.
He
Sorry,
wasn't.
14.
He wasn't mentioned whatsoever. The seat. They only mentioned Azam, Emmett
And it
Selk,
was a child too that took that
But
position.
they
and
mentioned
Daniel.
Elidibus as a.
No, they didn't. Nope. No.
Not an Elpis, but during the whole thing.
Well,
with,
Elpis is the only thing we're talking about right now.
No, but the problem is he said he saw him in Elpis, but he is part of the seat. The like Elidibus is a seat. So the thing is if he's in Elpis and he saw
Yes, which
us,
would mean that whoever was holding the seat
No,
was
it
there
could've been
at
somebody who-
Elpis at that time.
No, it could have been somebody who hadn't
Oh my
become
fucking
Elidibus
God.
yet.
Thank you, stream, for listening to all the stuff that I have to go through on a daily basis. I will have to re-look and revisit that story to remember what he said at the tower, because I don't fully remember that cutscene to be able to kind of determine if and where he is at Elpis, because I don't remember the conversation quite explaining it in that sense. I think wait, hold on. I think I remember the conversation. I think he remembers saying something is like he doesn't remember anything, but he remembers the person. Yeah, he was never there. His wording basically described that he was never at Elpis, but he remembered the person who kind of knew about this form and sent us back to there. He didn't send us back to where he's been. He sent us back to where the guy was. So yeah, Elpis, he was never there.
Well, yeah, but he says, I saw you.
Yeah, he says, wait, you were there. I saw you there, but you shouldn't have been. And that's why he sent you back in time to Elpis, because he knew you were there.
But he was a child, so we would have to find a child in that area. Because his character even there is a child. 'Cause they did mention about a child being in the area, not normally there being children there. While you were going through the story, main story.
Yeah.
What is
Well,
going
I
on?
have to go back and do all the side
Why is
quests.
my cutscene not... What is... I've had a black screen the whole time. Might have to hit the exit thing on this one. Or did I pause scrolling? Oh, jeez! Wow, I'm just sitting there at a black screen, not even paying attention. Oh, that's too funny.
It's all Keith's fault. He's arguing, I blame him.
You guys are both problematic.
What? I have to wait for 3,790 people.
Why are you at that number? Because you stepped away?
It crashed at 35:30 or something.
What? Oh, okay. I thought you
and
were...
so it started at 39.90 or something. So honestly, I probably didn't lose that much. It's just not going very fast so far.
Yeah, I'm at 358.
That's not a good picture to give of Alphino right now.
Well, did you just finish it? So you're just seeing
look at the cutscene. Look at the credit screen.
But I'm watching a different stream right now.
Oh, whatever. Thanks for giving me viewership, you asshat.
Yeah, he's at the end of the credits. He's going through the credits.
It's just the way Alphino was standing with his hand out. It just had me World War II vibes.
So you still don't know what the mount is?
No, I haven't gotten through the credits yet. I'm gonna go to the bathroom while the credits doing his thing. Hopefully it doesn't kick me out.
Here's an easy question. What mount do you not want? That's the mount you're going to get.
He has to do something to attract more people to his channel. I don't know what the heck you even do. What do you think, Tim? What, did you go AFK too? What the hell is this?
Okay. Just kind of going through the credits. I don't know what Zero's up to because he's got his thing all muted and deafened.
Is he in the game?
I think so. I'm not sure. He might have still had Q. Get some skills? Why? What skills? Oh, 30, 36. So you guys are all kind of tied up in the 3000s. Yeah, because I don't think...
Your brother said he was at 300.
No.
Okay.
He's at 33,000 as well, at 3,500 or something like that.
You mean he didn't hire his wife to just press spacebar this time?
I don't think so.
Well, that's good, because I think that it's wrong to just stay in game when you're not good.
All pulling the PUD.
You don't want to be one of those Mimosa dancers. Or Limsa, however the fuck you say that series name.
Limsa Lamont, wow. Now you got me all... Bleh. This game is not over. They have not solved the heat death of the universe yet. Eventually darkness and cold will win. Yes, they did explain that whole thing where everything is eventually going to become freezing. But that's not the whole purpose of what was going on right here. It's that is what there is life worth living. That was the whole argument. Doesn't matter, there's going to be an eventual end. It's a matter of living to that point and doing whatever you can. You can't stop that, but that doesn't mean you got to give up. Is that the part?
You can stop that.
Is that the part that you were talking about, where what the universe is eventually going to do? We're all just going to shift to eventually an eternal cold.
Who said that?
Zero's talking in the channel because the game on how they describe it, and he said yesterday, he's like,
I'm in here now. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, but I'm not making a big deal out of it. I just thought it was
Well,
kind
no,
of
go over it again
odd
because
that
I missed. I mean, I read it, but I wasn't quite understanding. I'm like, what is Zero talking about?
The only reason I brought it up is because in this fantasy game, they bring up a principle that it's a theory, but the most popular theory is to the fate of our universe is to go out like that. And I just found it kind of odd that they slipped that in there, you know.
Well, it all has to do with the cycle of like the red dwarf and all that shit, right?
Well, it's just eventually everything will start to drift further and further apart until eventually it'll just become a never-ending ice age for everything.
No, eventually our
Well,
sun will
no,
die
I thought
out.
the sun's gonna turn into a black hole eventually, and we're all gonna get.
No, that's not the biggest leading theory. Now the theory is everything's just going to spread out so far everything's going to spread out so much that basically the universe is just going to thin out and
freeze,
fade into nothingness, basically.
Oh, well, we're from Canada. We'll be fine.
I'm used to it.
Get on your park crust, boys.
There will be black holes, but they will evaporate eventually over like unfathomable years. And then everything will just dissipate into photons and then into nothingness. That is the fate of the universe, or at least the leading theory.
So basically, in other words, what you're saying is where it came from, it'll go back to.
No.
It'll go back to whence it came.
No. Well, I mean, depends how you...
There was nothing, and
Nobody
knows. There was nothing, and then particles started to gather together until explosions, and then came planets and
Chris,
atmosphere and life.
Just tell us.
Yeah, just tell us if we're so dumb.
What?
It's okay.
Dumb.
It's okay.
Well,
it's
he
okay.
was there, so he ought to know.
He was trying to make the old man joke.
Like, I don't know, many, probably 50 years ago, they used to think the universe would collapse in on itself and it would just start over again, right? But they figure that's not the case, so.
I mean, if everything drifts to nothingness and turns into particles, once it goes into the more particle form, wouldn't it just start shifting the, to try and till it forms something new somewhere else? Like, there's a lot of stuff in the universe. Eventually, something would crash together and create something new.
I mean, I wouldn't know the answer to that, and I'm sure the experts don't really know the answer to that either.
Right.
But the very fundamental thing, though, is like the universe is
infinite.
It might be infinite. We don't really know that, but it doesn't matter because we can never. They're like the edge of the universe. The 14 billion years is not a physical barrier. It's actually a time barrier. It's like the stuff is moving away so far, and it's so fast that the light and the interaction that comes from it will never reach us. It'll always be moving away from us, essentially. So the universe just is expanding to the point where nothing will be able to interact with each other anymore because it's just so far apart. Cold, isolated, kind of like the things you hear in this game.
That's depressing.
It is. I know.
Stop talking, Zero.
Sorry.
It's just, I look at it as like, that's
but
something
it would still
that
be
would,
like
that'll
hundreds
be
of millions of years before
like beyond that. It'll be such a large number that we probably can't even calculate in our mathematical numbers.
Think of numbers like with millions of zeros behind it.
Yeah.
So theoretically, we could be all over the universe by then, and so then we would all be separated from each other, freezing to death.
Yeah, but the universe will be really big.
That's a thing, and it's like, as much as that theory might come into play, the universe is large, and they've only tapped into what they're able to see in the Milky Way, including way larger stars and suns and all that other stuff. And again, who knows what other inhabitable areas that are out there that are just starting out.
I believe, don't quote me as an expert on this now, but I do believe they believe that there is an edge of the universe they observe. And that's why they have that weird image of the cosmic background radiation that you always see in popular media or whatever. That's the edge of the universe. And the reason we can see that is because it's taken 14 billion years to get to us. But they believe there's probably stuff beyond it, but we'll never see it. And
Well, that's the thing. You keep talking about light and its travel time. We don't know how far the universe is because light hasn't reached it.
yeah,
Okay,
but
now the ultimate question, though. Are there aliens?
We don't know. Well, you know what? The way it supposedly started here, I wouldn't be surprised if there is something else elsewhere. But it all depends on the planet and where it's sitting in the universe towards the sun, in their particular sun, to be able to create the energies to create this. Right. It needs habitable conditions. Because here, we started off as just atoms that eventually turned into things that just kind of floated around the shores. They tried to do something, and eventually cataclysm events happened. We went back to the shores, and then if evolution happened, they tried something different. Eventually, we got further off the shore.
I was just making sure we didn't have any of those close-minded people in here.
Oh,
Damn, I need some better gear.
I have three viewers. I can guarantee you, there's no closed-minded people in here.
Apparently, I can't
Viewers are probably
queue up for
0,
Zodiac or Highland yet.
10 more. What?
I can't. Apparently, I'm like 5. Gear level too short to queue up for the rage for Highland and Zodiac.
What? You got your gear from the...
Yeah, if you go
my
in...
accessory, it
What's her
doesn't give
name,
you
didn't you?
accessories, though.
Did you not? I got a full set of accessories just from doing one trust of each of the dungeons.
No, they didn't give me any on the trust.
I
They all
didn't,
like dropped healer gear. Thank you.
Did you grab the gear from Tataru?
Yes, I dealt, but my accessories is what's holding me down. I have a 542 accessory, 548 1, 548, 539, and 560.
We'll just run the end times or whatever it's called on trust a few times.
Or go with 0
Or that.
when he gets in. I mean, what was it? I was sitting at 555 when I had to do the Xenos, which means I was actually synced down for him.
Well, that's what I am. I was at 555 when I did the Xenos. Sorry, I went up a little bit because I actually bought 5.
What are you talking about then? Are you trying to talk about the extreme fights?
The raids, the ones that actually require 560. I guess they'd be extreme.
They're not out yet.
I can queue up
You have
for
to be
them.
talking about like the extreme.
He's talking about the extreme fights, and yes. So you need to now get your tombstone gear if you're talking about that.
Yeah, well, it says it requires a 560 minimum. Yes, and I need to get the
do your roulettes, and you don't want to do that right off anyway. It's going to be a nightmare.
Well, there's some people that are doing it. I think what's his name?
Bro was trying to get in, I think. Well, because he said the Jiggle's already got his weapon already from the because the extreme fights, just like last expansion and the expansions before, the Zodiac one does the accessories, and the Highland one does your weapon, and then you get the rest of the gear from the tombstones. So you get your weapon from the Extremes Highland fight. So when the raid comes out, you should usually have your accessories from the your Zodiac fight, which means 0 is going to have a blade, because he's going to be getting all of his accessories by running that multiple times, because I know he likes to fight.
Maybe the extreme sucks.
Actually, that's a good point. Who knows? I totally forgot about that.
Add more mechanics on the extreme?
Yes.
Or is it just harder?
Well, it's harder, but they do add more mechanics, yes.
Jesus.
They'll probably stack more things at once, kind of thing. I'm sure that's what they'll do. Like it's gonna move,
I'm
and you're gonna
not
have
in a
to.
rush. I gotta get some tombstone work. I gotta figure out how to get them on here.
Well, yeah, it starts off
Do
with
your roulettes.
Yeah. Well, you got to do the ones that give you the 90 tombstone currency.
But anyways,
what?
I can wait till. Sorry, my cat just decided to dig his claws into my leg when I was about to talk to you. Anyways, I was gonna say I can wait for Jody. I don't know how long he's gonna be because I'm gonna.
You guys' queues are all pretty close to each other.
I'm gonna be back and forth while I'm dealing with my son, who's begging for attention right this second.
As far as it goes, so far, the story was absolutely fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm intrigued what the post is gonna be.
Well, yeah, because they even threw Xenos in there at the real final part, which basically means, like, now I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do because they even took him out of the equation. Outside of him drinking. What?
They can do something completely new, but, like, you know, it's almost like, I don't know what the term it is, but, like, they pretty much exhausted some of the grander things you can happen in your adventures, you know?
Well,
I thought they actually led to something. I thought we were going to be dealing with pandemonium.
No, that's the raid, but that's not the So the raid will be your yeah, that's a good question. Because the pandemonium is going to have a whole story on it itself. The only thing I can think of now because you got your main story quest, which will usually just go, here's the story, and then the post story, which is usually the second part, and then there's the build up for the next expansion. So the post story usually will be, here's some tie-ups, here's the next badass boss or whatever. The only thing that's going through my head that I think that they end up doing is trying to figure out how to get everything unsundered. And bringing everything back into the same fold. Or trying to bridge openings so everybody can just visit the other worlds. That's the only thing I could think of them doing at this point.
I have the feeling they're going to leave it unsundered because that's how they, you know...
And that's the other thing. They could leave it unsundered, which leaves the opportunity for them to make the next expansions going through these other worlds.
Hey, where was that area in Charlian where you were spending nuts to get, like, wings and stuff?
That's called 97th Street.
Seriously, though.
Okay, you gotta go to the hunt master. There's by the hunt board.
Should be a blue
in
quest.
Charlian or
in Charlian. Well, you can. There's many different vendors, but the one that we went to, that gave you the I think Fro did his in Thavnir, but I grabbed mine from Charlian. But it's the same items.
Yeah, it's the same